time for an upcycle. I've got two little picture hanging hacks. One, if you have a piece that you've thrifted and absolutely has nothing on it to hang with, and then the other one is how I would hang these on the wall. There's nothing to mount with and they have this little piece right here. So let me show you, check it out. So these frames are not meant to be mounted on the wall, they're meant to be set on a table. This little piece right here can either be twisted around and popped off, or you can just use a little double-sided sticky tape to get it to stay down. And then I just took a little piece of leather rope that I had. You could use a trash bag tie or a little piece of picture wire hanger, and most of these have this little tiny piece that holds that back piece of frame in place. All you have to do is just put a little piece around that, and then you can hang it on the wall just like a regular picture. It's that simple. There are a ton of fun upcycles you can do with soda tabs. So I'm going to show you my little take on hanging pictures. I've seen some people do this where they just use glue, but I'm going to show you a little trick. So the way I've seen people do this little hack is they take a tab just like this. They just bust it off and it's totally open on both sides. The way I do this hack is I actually leave this little tiny center piece, this little tiny center circle in place, because then I can put a little screw through it. Don't need to use glue at all, and it actually looks better and holds much better. So here is how you get your tab off while keeping this little tiny piece in place. You want to rotate your tab around. Instead of just yanking it off, you want to push down on this top big hole just a smidge. And once you get it kind of tucked down into the can, you want to pop it gently the other direction. So basically it popped off that little tiny circle and did not bust off. If you do it the normal way, it just busts the thing right off. But this way, that little circle stays intact and can act as the perfect holder for a tiny little screw. I really find that using a tiny little screw works way better than using glue, because again, hot glue doesn't always hold, and we want our art to be safe on the wall. And this keeps you from having to buy a whole kit from the hardware store. So you can do this one of two ways. Once you've slightly bent your little cap and you've got your little circle still in place, you can either place one on either side of your frame, and you can drill them into place, and then you can take a little picture wire or some wire from your house and go across, so you've got your nice little picture wire hanging. Might be great if you have a heavier piece. I find that these tabs hold really nicely, 5 to 10 pounds. But for this frame, it just has a vintage t-shirt that I framed in it. I'm just gonna take one and place it right at the top, measure evenly between the top of the frame so you get your cap, your little hook perfectly centered, and then all you have to do is take a tiny little screw and drill it right into place. Then you have the perfect little hook mounted on the back of your picture frame, and you didn't have to go out and buy a kit. So when doing this little hack, opt out of the glue gun and just use a tiny screw. Just flip it around and pop it off so you keep that circle in place. And that's it. Honestly, it works better than any store mounting kit you can buy for the back of these pictures. So again, you can do on either side or put one right in the middle. It just depends on if you want to use picture wire or not. Hang it on the wall and you're good to go. If I'm going to use these little soda tabs on the back of baskets or something woven, I still don't use glue. Obviously you can't screw into a basket. I just use a little trash bag tie or a twist off of a cord that I've gotten and twist it right into place. And that's it. It holds perfectly. Happy upcycling.